Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing today? I hope you had a great weekend. How was your Easter break? We're starting off a new week. Looking forward to a great week together. Let's see if we have, I see we have a few people here already. Thank you for joining us this week, in the beginning of this week. Looking forward to an exciting week together. Today is going to be second graders all the way through to 7th grade. And then I have some brain teasers for you at the end. So I'll wait for maybe 1 more minute or so, and wait for some of our second and third graders to come in so we can start with second and third grade students. Okay, so do we have any second or third graders in our session yet? Please indicate if you're a second or third grader. Do we have any second or third grader? Okay, let's get started with this question. So we're looking at place value today. We're going to write 4,357 in expanded form, and we're going to use place value. Okay, so any answers? Okay, thank you for an answer. Let's see if we have any more answers from our second and third graders, and then we'll get this going. For those who are new to our session, the way our session works is that I put out a question, I give you a chance to answer, and if it's a question that nobody's able to answer, then I'll go ahead and show you how to solve it. And towards the end, I will have 2 questions that are puzzles, something that's going to be like a brain teaser for everyone to try out. And then that will be how our session goes. So today our focus is going to be second graders, well, elementary all the way to about 7th grade today. So also feel free to ask any questions, any topics that are from elementary to 7th grade, where you're free to ask those kind of questions. And if there are questions you want us to do for the next session, you can also ask them as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with this. We're looking at 4,357 in expanded form. So what we're going to do is I like to first write out the numbers. I'd like to write out the number. So I have 4,357. And actually, this is slanted. Let me write it better. This is 4,357. And so the way I like to go about this is I like to identify the place value for each of them first. So the place value here is ones. The place value here is tens. The place value here is hundreds, and then the place value here is thousand. So what we're going to do is we're going to start writing the expressions. So we have 4 is in the thousandth position, so I'm going to multiply it by 1,000, plus 3 is in the 100th position, so I'm going to multiply it by 100, plus 5 is in the 10th position, so I'm going to multiply that by 10. And then 7 is in the ones position, so I'm going to multiply it by 1. And what we're going to do is here, I like to put parentheses around them just so that you understand that this is how you're going to walk through the problem. So therefore, 4,357 is going to be equal to 4 multiplied by 1,000 plus 3 multiplied by 100 plus 5 multiplied by 10 plus 7 multiplied by 1. And this is going to give us 4,000 plus 300 plus 50 plus 7. So that's going to be the solution to our problem. So let's go ahead to the second one. This is for 4th to 6th graders. We're going to convert a fraction to a decimal. We're going to convert a fraction to a decimal. So let me give you a minute or so to see if you can do that. If you cannot do it or this is not familiar to you, feel free to let me know, and then I will go ahead and show you how to do it. So convert 11/16 to a decimal. Let's go ahead and convert a fraction to a decimal. So feel free to send in your comments if you have any comments, any questions. If there's a topic that I bring up here that you would like me to do some more examples on, also feel free to let me know, and then we'll go ahead and do some more examples. Okay, so I'm going to wait for a few more seconds and see if I get a response. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and show you how to do this. All right, since I don't have a response, let's go ahead and show you how to do this. So 11/16 is our fraction. So when we're going to use the long division method. So I'm going to write my 11 here because 11 is in your numerator and then 16 is in your denominator. So in math, this is called your divisor, and this is called your dividend, and this is your divisor, and then the number we get up here is your quotient. All right, so now we're going to walk through the steps. The first step you want to take is to find out, can you divide 11 by 16? How many groups of 16 can you have in 11? We can't find a group of 16 in 11 because 16 is greater than 11. So I'm going to put a 0, and then I'm going to put a point here, and that allows me to make this 110. So now I'm going to divide 110 by 16. How many groups of 110 do you have in 16? So let's go ahead and try a few things here. Let's try 16 multiplied by 6, which is 16 multiplied by 6. 6 multiplied by 6, we have 36. Write 6, bring up 3. 1 multiplied by 6, we have 6. Plus 3, we have 9. So let's try 16 by 7 as well. 16 multiplied by 7, we have, let me just write it the way I need to. So 16 multiplied by 7. 6 multiplied by 7, we have 42. I'm going to write 2 here, bring 4 up here. 1 multiplied by 7, 7 plus 4, 112. So you can see that 110 is between 96 and 112. So I'm going to pick the lower limit here, which is going to be 6. 6 multiplied by 16, we have 96. Now we're going to subtract. 10 minus 6, we have 4. Then 10 minus 9, we have 1. So that's 14. Can you divide 14 by 16? No, you can't do that. So we're going to introduce another 0 here. Now 140 divided by 16. Let's keep trying. 16 multiplied by 8. So this is going to give us 6 multiplied by 8, 48. Write 8, bring 4 up here. 1 multiplied by 8, we have 8 plus 4, we have 12. So we're not at 140 yet, so let's go ahead and try 9. 16 multiplied by 9, 9 multiplied by 6, 54. So I'm going to write 4, bring 5 up here, 1 multiplied by 9, 9 plus 5, 14. So this is between 128 and 144, so we're going to pick the lower number, which is 8. 8 multiplied by 16, we have 128. And so we subtract here, and you can see that this is going to give you 12. We subtract, and we can keep going until, here I'm going to go until about 4 decimal places and see where we end. So 12 divided by 16, so we can't do that. We bring another 0. The reason why we can keep bringing up the zeros here is because of this decimal point that we put out here. It gives us the right to do that. So now 120 is between 7 and 8, so we're going to use 7 right here. 7 multiplied by 16, we have 112. We subtract again, we have 8, and then we can bring down a 0. So let's try, because it ends with a 0, let's try 16 multiplied by 5. 6 multiplied by 5 is 30. We're going to write 0, bring 3 up here. 1 multiplied by 5 is 5 plus 3. We have 8. Okay, so we can see that it's 5 here. 5 multiplied by 16, we have 80. And then we subtract, we have 0. So therefore, 11 over 16 is the same as 0.6875. That's what we're trying to do. So 0.6875 is the decimal value for 11 over 16. Any questions? Are we good to go? Next question, we're going to, for our 6th and 7th graders, we're going to be simplifying this algebraic expression. So let's go ahead and simplify this and come up with another way of writing this expression. So let's simplify this expression. What do we get? It's 4y squared minus 5 minus negative 6y squared plus 3y minus 11. Let's go ahead and simplify the expression. Simplify the expression. Let's simplify the expression. I'll wait for a few minutes to see if anyone has an answer, and then we'll go ahead and do it together. All right, let's go ahead and try this together. So what we're going to do here is we're going to first simplify. Remember PEMDAS. PEMDAS is about getting rid of the parentheses. So 4y squared minus 5, 4y squared minus 5. Because there's no number before it, so we can just assume that you're multiplying by 1, so it stays the same. Now we're going to go into this second parenthesis, and we're going to multiply every term by negative 1. So this is going to give us negative 1 multiplied by negative 6y squared is going to give us plus 6y squared. Negative 1 multiplied by 3y is going to give us minus 3y here. And then negative 1 multiplied by negative 11 is going to give us plus 11. So our next step here is to group common terms together. So common terms are terms that look the same. The only thing that differs between them is the number to the left of that term. So if we look at some of our common terms here, we have y squared, we have y squared here, we have y here, but there's no other y, and then we have a constant and another constant. So what we're going to do is we're going to group them together. So we have 4y squared plus 6y squared, and then we're going to bring down our minus 3y. Then we have minus 5 plus 11. So now let's go ahead and simplify. 4y squared plus 6y squared is going to give us 10y squared. Then we have minus 3y. Then negative 5 plus 11. Remember the rule, when you have different signs, you're going to subtract the numbers first. So 11 minus 5 is 6. Then let's look at the sign on the larger number. It's a positive, so we're going to have plus 6. So this is the simplified version of the expression that we started off with. All right, any questions? No questions? Let me know if you have any questions, and as we continue, if you come up with any questions, just let me know. We'll be able to go through them together. Okay, now for our second and third graders, 2 trucks arrive at a weighing station. The first truck weighs 26,574 pounds, and the second truck weighs 24,097 pounds. Which of these trucks is heavier, and by how many pounds? So we have 2 trucks at a weighing station. They have different weights. We want to find out which of the trucks is heavier, and by how many pounds is it heavier than the second truck. Okay, let's wait on some more response. Let's wait on some responses, and then we'll go ahead and solve the questions together. All right. It's a low participation day today. So let's go ahead and look at this together. So we have the first truck weighs 26,574 pounds, and then the second truck weighs 24,097. So the first thing, the way I like to do this, I like to look at the terms or the numbers from left to right. So I have 2 here and 2 here, so I can't make a decision yet on which one is larger. I have 6 here and I have 4 here. 6 is bigger than 4, or 6 is greater than 4. So this number here is going to be the larger one. So the first truck, okay, thank you, Anastasia. First truck is heavier. And now we want to find out by how much. All that is requiring us to do is to do a subtraction. So we have 26,574 minus 24,079. Oh, 97, sorry, not 79. It's 97. Let me correct that here. This is 97. This is 97. All right. So now we're going to subtract. 4 minus 7, you can get 7 from 4. So we're going to go over here to borrow 1. We're left with 6. And then the one we borrow becomes 10, makes this 14. 14 minus 7, we have 7. 6 minus 9, we can't do that, so we have to go to 5 and borrow 1. We're left with 4 here. The one we borrow becomes 10. We add it to 6, gives us 16. 16 minus 9, 7. 4 minus 0, we have 4. And then 6 minus 4, we have 2. 2,477 pounds. So it's heavier by 2,477 pounds. Okay. Thank you for your participation. Let's go ahead and solve some fractions. We want to solve the following fractions. 3½ minus 1/2 and 3/4 divided by 1/5/7. 1/5/7. We have some subtraction here and some multiplication. some division of fractions. In both of them, we have mixed numbers. For the session with 2nd to 7th graders, I've made a commitment to you all that I will have fraction questions every time. So today we have subtraction and division. Next time we'll have multiplication and addition. I may try different things on that, but we have subtraction and division. Let's see if we can come up with some answers to these problems. On the first one, a hint for you could be that you convert both of them to improper fractions. You can use that method. Convert both of them to improper fractions and then subtract. That should be very much easier to do. Okay, let's wait for a few more seconds to at least get a response to the first one, and then we'll proceed. Okay, let's go ahead and convert both of these to improper fractions. 6/1. What is 6/1? Good afternoon, Dio. Good to have you. Okay, so let me show you what to do here. The first thing I'm going to do here is to convert both of these to improper fractions. So let's go ahead and convert 3½ to an improper fraction. 3½. That's going to give you 3 multiplied by 2, which is going to give you 6. Plus 1, we have 7/2. And then 1/2 to an improper fraction. 1 multiplied by 3 is 3 plus 2, 5. So I have 5/3. So this is 7/2 minus 5/3. So now what we're going to do is to rewrite each of these fractions so they have a common denominator. Remember, whenever you're trying to add or subtract a fraction or a set of fractions, you always need to make sure that you have a common denominator. That's what gives you the permission to add or subtract the numerators. So let's go ahead and change 7/2. We'll look at 2 and 3. And what is our common denominator? What would that be? Simply, I can multiply 2 and 3. That will give me 6. So our common denominator should be 6. So 7/2 is going to be equal to, let's see, we multiply 2 by 3 to get 6. So I have to multiply 7 by 3 as well. This is going to give me 21/6. And then 5/3 is going to give me, we first multiply 3 by 2 to get 6. So we multiply 5 by 2. This is going to give me 10/6. So now we're going to replace the original fractions, the original improper fractions, with their equivalent fractions that have a denominator of 6. So we have 21/6 minus 10/6. So now that we have a common denominator, we can subtract the numerators. 21 minus 10, which is going to give you 11/6. So now what we're going to do is convert this to a mixed number. So 11/6. How many groups of 6 are in 11? We have 1. 1 multiplied by 6, we have 6, and a remainder of 5. So this is going to be one whole number, 5/6. All right, the next one, we have a proper fraction divided by a mixed number. Simplest thing to do is to convert the mixed number to an improper fraction. So 1/5/7 is going to be, we multiply 1 by 7, 7 plus 5, 12/7. So now this is going to be 3/4 divided by 12/7. And our rule is that we leave the one on the left alone, which is 3/4. We don't change it. We change the sign to a multiplication, and then we flip the positions of these numbers. So it's going to be 7/12. So we can actually cancel numerator and denominator. 3 divided by 3, we have 1. 12 divided by 3, we have 4. So this is going to be 1 multiplied by 7 divided by 4 multiplied by 4, which is equal to 7 over 16. So that is the value you get when you divide 3/4 by 1/5/7. Okay, for 5th to 6th graders, order of operations. Simplify -5 squared multiplied by 3 divided by 5 plus 9. This is testing PEMDAS. Whenever you see order of operations, or whenever you see any expression that has multiple mathematical operators, so you're looking at your exponent, your multiplier, your multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Whenever you see any expression that has all of those, always think order of operations. Order of operations. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes here to try this out and see what we come up with. Let me write this out here. We have PEMDAS. So PEMDAS. We have GAMDAS. Some just call it PEDBAS. And I see some call it GAMA. So these are four of the most common ones that I've seen people use. All right, let's see who's going to be able to get an answer. Doesn't matter if your answer is correct. I just want to see how you think through problems and then show you the best way to think about these problems. Okay, let's put 31 seconds on the clock. Okay, let's see what we come up with. So PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division. So like I said, I think probably last week or the week before, these are at the same level. So that means that whichever one comes first, going from left to right, gets treated first. These addition, subtraction are also on the same level. So whatever one comes first, going from left to right. But multiplication and division have a higher order than addition and subtraction. So whenever you have multiplication, division, addition, subtraction in an expression, the multiplication or division goes first. So now let's go ahead and look at PEMDAS. So PEMDAS, we're looking at parentheses. So we have parentheses here, but we also have exponents. So let's go ahead and deal with that first. So -5 squared is going to be 25. Then we multiply by 3, divide by 5, plus 9. So the next step is, we dealt with our P and our E. Then MD, multiplication, division, do we have both of them? Yes, we do. So we are going to address the multiplication first. 25 multiplied by 3. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. Write 5, bring 1 up here. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, plus 1, 7. So that's going to give us 75 divided by 5 plus 9. So now we have division again before addition. So we're going to deal with division. So this is going to give us 75 divided by 5. 7 divided by 5, I have 1. 1 multiplied by 5, I have 5. Subtract, we have 2. Bring down the 5. 25 divided by 5, we have 5. 5 multiplied by 5, We have 25, subtract, you have 0. So this is going to give us 15 plus 9. And now we can add 15 and 9 together. 5 plus 9, 14. Write 4 here, bring 1 up here. I like to put a 0. So we have the same number of digits on both rows, or on all rows. So 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So this is going to give us 24. All right. So I have 1, 4. This is for our 6th to 7th graders. These are multi-step equations. 6th to 7th graders, multi-step equations. What is the value of b? What is the value of b? I'll give you a few moments to try it out and then we can go ahead. I believe this is the last question before we get our puzzles. And the puzzles are quite interesting. Okay, what is the value of b? What is the value of b? All right, let me give you a few more moments and then we'll go ahead and look at this together. Whenever you're doing math and you have order of operations, never forget your PEMDAS. There should be some PEMDAS here as well. There should be some PEMDAS here as well. Okay, let's go ahead and work this out. So PEMDAS parentheses, so let's go ahead and distribute. We're going to distribute first. So 11 multiplied by b is going to give us 11b. 11 multiplied by 18 is going to give us 198. Then negative 6 multiplied by 2b is minus 12b here. Negative 6 multiplied by 1, that should give us minus 6 here, which is equal to 4 multiplied by negative b is minus 4b. And then 4 multiplied by 9, we have 36. So the next thing we're going to do is group common terms together. So we have 11b minus 12b plus 198 minus 6 equal to negative 4b plus 36. So let's go ahead and simplify this. 11b minus 12b, that's going to give you negative b. 198 minus 6 is going to give you 192. This is going to be equal to negative 4b plus 36. So now we're going to go ahead and decide, do we want the variable on the left hand side or on the right hand side? In this case, I would most likely move the variables to the left hand side and move the constant or the numbers to the right hand side. So I'm going to move 4b out of there. I'm going to add 4b to both sides. Add 4b to both sides of this equation. And then I have 4b minus b, that's 3b plus 192 equal to 36. So now I'm going to subtract 192 from both sides. So remember, the rule is when the signs are different, let's go ahead and just subtract 192 minus 36. So this is going to give us 12 here. 12 minus 6, we have 6. We have 8 left over here. 8 minus 3, we have 5, and then 1. So we have 156, but we have to pay attention to the number, the sign on the bigger number, which is 192 is the bigger number. It's a negative number, so we keep the sign as negative. So 3b is equal to negative 156. Now we're going to divide both of them by both sides by 3, and so let's go ahead and divide 156 by 3. 156 divided by 3. So 15 divided by 3, we have 5. 5 multiplied by 3, we have 15. We subtract, bring this down, we have 6. 6 divided by 3, we have 2. 2 multiplied by 3, we have 6. 0. The name is Unduka. Thank you, Jake, for joining. So b is equal to negative 52. So b is equal to negative 52. Now we are going to, do you have any questions, any topics that you'd like me to address? We have some time before I go into the quiz. We have about 4 or 5 minutes that I can spare before I go into the puzzles for today. Okay, you're welcome, Jake. Today we're working on topics from first, second grade to about 7th grade. Are there any topics that you're interested in? I can spend a few minutes walking through those topics, or 1 or 2 topics for you. If there's anything that you have a question about, we can do that before we get into our puzzles for today. I'll give you a minute or so to see. Division, what kind of division are you looking at? Are you looking at dividing fractions or dividing when you have 2-digit divisors? What are you looking for? Okay, let's go ahead and try some examples here on 2-digit divisors. So let's go, and I'm going to make up a question. 768 divided by 24. Okay, so there are lots of different techniques that teachers use, and I've seen quite a few of them as well. So I'll show you the one that I like to use and see if that works for you. So I'm going to put the 768 inside the division sign and 24 on the outside. So what I'm going to do, one of the methods that I like is you're going to say 24 multiplied by 1, 24 multiplied by 2, 24 multiplied by 3, 24 multiplied by 4. You can do a few of them. I saw this from a student in KDISC and I like it. So I've been using it since then. So 24 multiplied by 1 is 24. 24 multiplied by 2. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So this is 48. Then 24 multiplied by 3. Let's go ahead and do that. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. I write 2 here and bring 1 up here. 2 multiplied by 3, 6 plus 1, 7. So that's 72 here. And then 24 multiplied by 4. So we're going to go ahead and multiply this out. 4 multiplied by 4, we have 16. I'm going to write 6 and bring 1 up here. 2 multiplied by 4, 8 plus 1, 9. So I have 96. Well, we have a number that is 76, which is kind of right in here. 76 is between 72 and 96. So it is greater than 24 multiplied by 3, but it is less than 24 multiplied by 4. So we're going to use 3 as the factor here. 24 multiplied by 3, we have 72. So now we're going to subtract. 6 minus 2, we have 4. 7 minus 7, we have 0. And then now we bring down the 8. For the 8 divided by 24, we can see here that 24 multiplied by 2 is 48. So I'm going to write a 2 here. 2 multiplied by 24, I have 48. And then I can subtract and I have a remainder of 0. So 768 divided by 24 is equal to 32. Does this help? I hope this answers your questions. We can do a few more other examples maybe on Wednesday when we have some more time for 2nd to 7th grade students. We can do some more, or if you want me to clarify this, I can go over it again. If you want me to do one more example, I can squeeze in one more example. If this is not clear enough for you, I can do that. Just let me know and I'll be glad to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try out our puzzles for today. And if we have some more time after that, we can also do some more topics. So this is similar to one of the ones I gave last week. I want to see if you all remember it and see if you can answer it. So what is the missing value here? What is the missing value from this circle? What is the missing value? I'll give you about 2 minutes to figure it out. $34. Good try, Aaron. Think about it again. 15. Good try, Dayo and Lillian. Good try. Let's see. Try one more time. Give it one more try and then I'll show you what to do. 45. Okay, good try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a trick and then see if you can apply it. So 10 plus 7 is 17. 11 plus 6 is 17. 15 plus 16 is 31. 19 plus 12 is 31. 24 plus 30 is 54. So what is going to be the missing number here? Perfect, Aaron. Perfect. So here we need 40 plus a number equal to 54. So this number is going to be 54 minus 40. So this is 4, this is 1. So this is going to give you 14. All right, good try. Now I have this one. Actually, I got this one from my daughter and it was a really good one. So I thought I would use it for the puzzle today. I think she got it off social media. So it's a pretty good one. It's going to make you think. So we're going to use all of these numbers in red to make the number in blue. We can only use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division to get from the red to the blue. You cannot join the numbers together. Okay, Dayo. It's good enough. Good trying. So for this, you cannot combine the numbers. That means you cannot combine 3 and 3 to make another 8. You can't do that. So you can't do that. So you can only use addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And you can only use each of these numbers the way they are. You can't use more than, you can't use 8 more than twice and 3 more than twice. So let's see what we come up with. But you have to use all of the numbers. You can't, all of the numbers must be used. All of the numbers have to be used. You're only using 8 and 3. You have to use this other 8 and this other 3 for you to get to the right answer. It's actually, it's a brain teaser. This one you have to think. You have to think deep. And 8 multiplied by 3 gives you a hint on how to get there. Anybody have an idea on what to do? I said earlier 8 multiplied by 3 is going to give you a hint on how to get there. So we have 8 multiplied by 3. Okay, so there are lots of ways to represent 8 multiplied by 3. So let's look at a few examples of how you can multiply 8. Well, let's show you the easiest way to do it. So you have 8 multiplied by 3. This can also be 8 divided by 1 over 3. That's another way to write this. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to come on this side. So if I say 1 over 3, if I say 3 minus 8 over 3, this is going to give me 9 over 3 minus 8 over 3. So this is going to give me 1 over 3. Okay, so I said here 8 divided by 1 over 3 is an option. So let's see how we can do that. So we have 8 here divided by 1 over 3 is the same as 3 minus 8 divided by 3. That is it. So you can see I'm using 8 twice and 3 twice. So this is really all there is to it. 8 divided by 3 minus 8 over 3. 3 minus 8 over 3 is 1/3. 8 divided by 1/3 is the same as 8 multiplied by 3 over 1, which is 24. So that's the quiz for today. So is there any topic? We have about 10 minutes or so. Is there any topic you want us to go over while we have some time? And let's go ahead and look at that. Whatever topic you have from your second grade, first grade, all the way through about 7th grade, we have some time to walk through any topics that you want. So let me know. Don't forget they have to be math topics. Let me know if you have any topics, and then we'll get going on that topic. I think Jake gave us a topic earlier. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Jake. Does anyone have any questions? You can say yes or no, so I know. Improper? What do you want to do with improper? You want to convert to improper? You want to go from improper to mixed number, or you want to go from mixed number to improper? Or do you want to add, subtract, multiply, or divide with improper fractions? If you give me an idea, I will be able to help you. Oh, I did not combine the numbers. I did not combine. I just used only these operations with the numbers. 8 divided, look at that, 8 divided by, then you have 3 minus 8 divided by 3. So actually the best way to write this is 8 divided by 3 minus 8 divided by 3. So this is the best way to write it. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Does anybody have any more questions? Okay, improper multiplying fractions. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that. Improper fractions, multiplying fractions. So let's go ahead and look at multiplying improper fractions. So 8 over 3 multiplied by 7 over 6. When you're multiplying improper fractions, you can easily multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together. So this is 8 multiplied by 7 divided by 3 multiplied by 6. This is going to give us 8 multiplied by 7, you have 56. 3 multiplied by 6, we have 18. And so now we're going to divide. We're trying to see if we can simplify. Because they're both even numbers, we can easily divide both of them by 2. 56 divided by 2, we have 28. 18 divided by 2, we have 9. So we can now go ahead and convert this to a mixed number. 28 divided by 9. So we have 3 times. You can have 9 in 28. 3 multiplied by 9, we have 27. 8 minus 7 is 1. So this is the same as 3 whole number and then a remainder of 1 we're dividing by 9. Let's look at another example. Let's say 2 2/3 multiplied by 4 1/5. Okay, so when you have mixed numbers here, you're going to have to convert them to improper fractions. To convert to an improper fraction, we're going to say 2 multiplied by 3, which is 6. We add 2 to that again, which is going to give us 8. 8 over 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5, 20 plus 1, 21 over 5. So now what we're going to do here is multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together. 8 multiplied by 21 divided by 3 multiplied by 5. Now you can do something here. I actually like this approach better. So you can look in the numerator and the denominator and see if you have common factors. So I can see 3 here is a factor of 21 and a factor of 3. 3 divided by 3, 1. 21 divided by 3, we have 7. So this is going to give us 8 multiplied by 7 over 5, which is 56 over 5. So now let's go ahead and convert this to a mixed number. 56 divided by 5. If you know your multiplication tables, you know that 5 multiplied by 11 is 55. 5 multiplied by 11 is 55. We have a remainder of 1. So this is going to give us 11 whole number, 1 over 5. So this is the answer to this problem. So I've given you 2 different examples. Did this help? Does this help with your understanding? Dayo, does this help you? Or do you want another example before we call it a session? Okay. Okay, this helps. So this helps you? Okay. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you for asking the question. And please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Share with your friends in these school times. I know a lot of you are having to learn on your own. And so share with your friends that may be struggling with learning on their own. And I'll be glad to have them join us. I want this to be as helpful to as many people as possible during this time. So please share with your friends, subscribe to the channel so that when I upload videos or when this video here, this session gets uploaded as a video, you get a notification that it's available. And also I want you to be able to send us questions. You can also send comments for any session, and look forward to having you again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday. If you want to join us tomorrow, or if you know any of your friends that are in 8th grade to 12th grade, let them know that there's a place for them to come ask questions. Look forward to having as many of them as possible. Bye. Bye, Dayo. Bye, everyone. Thank you for your participation. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your Easter Monday. Bye for now.